Hi, this is Albert Brock with Win Focus, and today we're going to be taking a look at a brochure. Do your part, prevent underage drinking. We don't want to have any underage drinking of alcohol, right? We want to stop underage drinking. Now, why should I care about underage drinking? Nasty results can occur. Nasty results can occur with underage drinking. Annually, in the United States alone, about 5,000 people under the age of 21 die from alcohol-related injuries involving underage drinking. Early alcohol use, independent of other risks, contributes to the risk of developing future alcohol problems. That's becoming an alcoholic and having the problem exist throughout the entire life, right? The odds of future alcohol abuse or dependence are estimated to be 7% greater for each year of age below age 21 that alcohol consumption begins. Underage alcohol use has also been shown to be a strong contributing factor to youth violence, delinquency, teen pregnancy, academic failure, and school dropout. Underage drinking plays a significant role in risky sexual behavior, including unwanted, unintended, and unprotected sexual activity, and sex with multiple partners. Such behavior increases the risk for unplanned pregnancy and for contracting sexually transmitted diseases. So underage drinking comes with a heavy toll. Underage drinking is associated with tobacco use as well and illicit drug use. It is associated with it. Underage drinking can cause alterations in the structure and function of the developing brain, which continues to mature into the mid to late 20s. Okay, so avoiding alcohol until the late 20s is a good idea if you're going to have any of it at all. Youth who drink alcohol are at a higher risk for homicide and suicide. And let's not forget that not all of these attempts and all these things with violence end up with death. They could end up with mental or physical disability for long periods of time or a person's entire life. So alcohol is dangerous. Now, did you know that alcohol is the most commonly used and abused drug amongst youth in the United States? Well, it is. People aged 12 to 20 years old drink 11% of all alcohol consumed in the United States. That's 11% too much, don't you think? More than 90% of this alcohol is consumed in the form of binge drinks. On average, underage drinkers consume more drinks per drinking occasion than adult drinkers do. Drinking affects the brain's frontal lobes, which are important for planning, forming ideas, making decisions, and using self-control. On alcohol, adolescents find it hard to control emotional urges, may become violent, act without thinking, or say things they later regret. Alcohol affects the brain's hippocampus, where memories are processed. A damaged hippocampus can impair learning. Using alcohol can lead to a blackout where a person is unable to remember entire events or what was done during a certain period of time. In 2010, there were approximately 189,000 emergency room visits. That's in 1 year, 189,000 emergency room visits by persons under age 21 for injuries and other conditions linked to alcohol. Youth who start drinking before the age of 15 years old are 6 times more likely to develop alcohol dependence or abuse later in life than those who begin drinking at or after the age of 21. I would recommend late 20s. Warning signs. What are warning signs that the youthful person in your life is imbibing, or the young ones are? There'll be mood changes, temper flare-ups, irritability and defensiveness seeming out of the blue, and a little more intense than what you might expect from a teenager. There'll be school problems, poor attendance, low grades, recent disciplinary action, time to go talk to the teacher, time to go talk at the school and see what's going on, be involved. Rebellion, not following the family rules, and we're not talking about your normal rebellion, we're talking about some serious rebellion. Change of friends, switching friends, and the reluctance to introduce parents to the new friends. A kind of a taken over by a nothing matters attitude with a sloppy appearance, lack of involvement in former interests, and general low energy. A lot of these can also point to other drug use, so keeping an eye on these warning signs is a great idea. Stay in contact with your young ones. And alcohol presence itself is a good warning sign. Finding it in the youth's bedroom, or smelling it on their breath, or somewhere around the yard or in the house or something. And also Warning signs could be physical or mental health problems, including memory lapses, poor concentration, bloodshot eyes, lack of coordination, or slurred speech. Again, this can also point to drug use. So just because alcohol is not involved when you can't detect it or find it, maybe something else is going on. Caring is sharing, and getting the information that you need is very important. Now, let's take a look at some risk factors. Well, child abuse and other traumas have been proposed as risk factors for subsequent alcohol problems. Adolescents in treatment for alcohol abuse or dependence reported higher rates of physical abuse, sexual abuse, violent victimization, witnessing of violence, and other traumas compared with control subjects who would be the people that weren't being treated for this. Social norms and beliefs contributing to risk factors can be perception of harm from alcohol use is low. Same with drugs. Oh, it's okay. It's just experiment. No, it's not. Expectations of alcohol use are positive in the community or the family that the person is in. So this is a social norm or belief that could be a high risk factor. An early initiation of drinking, whether it occurred with the family, with friends, or outside of that social context. So that's a problem. Peer drinking and peer acceptance of drinking. So if the local group there is drinking the alcohol, they're going to accept it more. It's going to be more of a risk factor for the person to imbibe and then embark and suffer some of the consequences, if not all of the consequences of alcohol use. Personal risk factors include significant social transitions, such as graduating in middle or high school or getting a driver's license, a history of conduct problems already, depression and other serious mental problems already, a family history of alcoholism. So if the person is in a family that has a history of alcoholism, it's a good idea to watch out for that and keep everybody informed. Some people are not good with alcohol. Alcohol is a natural poison. It is a depressant. It is a drug. And folks can become alcoholics very easily, even if it's not in their family. But with a family history of alcoholism, you know already, okay, that's not something to do for the weekend, right? Contact with the peers involved in deviant activities. So, and alcohol would show up in that also. So we're talking about adolescents with behavioral problems. And then risk factors also include parental influences. What could they possibly be? That's a rather dark photograph. Let's find out about the parental influences. Parents or siblings that use alcohol already can negatively impact the younger person. Parents, the drinking behavior of the parents, and favorable attitudes about drinking, looking forward to drinking, having the rituals that go along with drinking alcohol, have been positively associated with adolescents themselves initiating and continuing the drinking through their generation. Children who were warned about alcohol by their parents and children who reported being closer to their parents were less likely to start drinking, and if they did start drinking, were less likely to continue. Lack of parental support is also a risk factor, and monitoring the child's behavior, as we talked before, just for a moment, talking with the school, talking with the children, being open, having a communication there. May not always be pleasant, but keeping that communication open. If there's low levels of monitoring or no monitoring, or low levels of communication or no communication, they can they are significantly related to the frequency of drinking, heavy drinking, and drunkenness among adolescents, as well as with drugs, drug use, and also other negative behaviors that can cause the person to get into trouble and generally not have a nice experience in their life. So also parental influences that are risk factors are low parental care or involvement. We already talked about this. How do you do that? Go to the school, talk to the teacher. They may not have something that you want to hear from them, but it's great to listen to it, to hear about another adult's input on the child's behavior so that you can work to positively impact it. And there are folks that can help us outside. There's family members, other family members. There's religious leaders. There's community leaders, friends, family, neighbors. There's all sorts of folks. And then, of course, if you need, there's social workers can support as well. Doctors, general care, right? Okay. Now, also, harsh and inconsistent discipline or hostility or rejection towards the children can push the child out into the world there where alcohol is viewed as a way to get along, and you can see it on the advertisements. They're not true. We all know they're not true. And then, of course, parents, if there is a home alcohol supply, the parents not monitoring it to make sure that no one's tapping off the top of it there. Some parents feel that the children are going to drink anyway because it's everywhere, right? They don't need to do that. So they prefer that they're safe and drink at home. Well, that's a problem right there, drinking at home. If the child's underage, drinking at home is not an option anyway. Anyway, let's get on to prevention tips for parents. Set clear rules. Let your child know that drinking is not acceptable. Don't drink the alcohol. Tell your child, here's something you can tell your child. I do not want you drinking until you are 21. As long as you are in my house, there will be no drinking of alcohol. These are fair. That's a fair rule. That's good. Share your standards with family and your child's friends' parents. Talk about it. The kids are not going to drink. It's not good for them. It's going to cause a problem for them. And even if you can't guarantee it is going to cause a problem for them, don't even want to risk that. Why would you want to risk pushing your child out into traffic, which is what happens if you let him drink alcohol? Here, we're going to just see if you survive this. Don't do that. It's not good. Don't believe the advertising. Enforce the rules you set. That's your right. Now be a positive adult role model. Everybody wants to do that, right? How do you do that? If you drink yourself, drink responsibly. Do not drink too much or too often. You got to be healthy too. I don't know. Not drinking is fun, just as well. Stay away from alcohol in high-risk situations. Don't want to be driving the car, especially not in front of the kids. Don't want to be working. Don't want to be drinking and working. If you're drinking, unfortunately, that's all you're doing. Okay, so let's cut the high-risk situations there. Don't drive or go boating while you've been drinking. No boating while you've been drinking. Got another video about that here in Michigan and all across the United States and the entire world. Do not drink and boat. Do not drink and drive. Get help if you think you have an alcohol-related problem. Reach out. Get the help. You don't need the alcohol. It's not, hey, why are you spending the money on that? I don't know. Do not give alcohol to your teens. Just don't do it. That's your life, your decision. It's not meant, they need to make their own decisions later on. It's a serious problem that could cause them injury and death. So wait till they're 21, then they're gone. All right. Tell them that any alcohol in your home is off limits to them and to their friends. Hands off. Support your children and teens and give them space to grow. Be involved in your teens' lives. Be loving and caring. Encourage your teens' growing independence, but set appropriate limits. Make it easy for your teens to share information about their lives. It's important to talk to them and listen to them. Know where they are, what they're doing, who they're with, and who their friends are. And find ways for your teens to be involved in family life. Make the family life. Such as doing chores, caring for a younger brother or sister. That's their responsibility too. We got neighbors, we got friends, we have people we need to take care of. Help your teens find ways to have fun with alcohol. And let me tell you, there's plenty of them. There's fishing, there's hiking, there's swimming, there's diving, there's walking all over the place. Lots of fun, lots of interesting things to do. And none of them involve alcohol or having to recover from having consumed it. Don't let your teens attend parties where alcohol is served. They're teenagers. Why are they serving alcohol? They can't talk to each other? They're a little nervous. Got to remove the nervousness with alcohol? I think not. Make sure alcohol isn't available at teen parties in your own home. And help your teens avoid dangerous situations such as riding in a car driven by someone who has been drinking. That's not just a slight risk. That's the risk of death, dismemberment, mental disability for the rest of their lives. Do not drink and drive. Do not get in a vehicle with someone who has been drinking alcohol. Help your teens get professional help if you're worried about their involvement with alcohol. So there we are. Do your part. Prevent underage drinking. I know you'll do it because it's important. And you know what's right. Okay, do your part. Prevent underage drinking. I want to thank the Wayne County Division of Mental Health, the Wayne County Mental Health Authority. Thank you so much, and thank you everybody for listening. Have a great day.